call the November 19th regular town board meeting to order. We'll do this way, Chris, please read the roll.
Councilman Golding?
Here.
Councilman Jack Russo? Councilman Mora?
Here.
Supervisor Esposito?
Present. Also present is our attorney, Rob Cohen. Gerard is not available tonight. So. All right, could we stand for the invocation?
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and for this place that we can come together as a community and meet. And we just pray for safe travel for everybody to and from, and we pray for our board members and just bless them with wisdom and discernment as they make decisions for us in our town. And we just thank you so much for everything you've given us and everything you've blessed us with. In Jesus' name we pray.
Okay, please remain standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. As you know, everybody knows, our longtime councilman passed away. He was very well regarded in his town. Just bear with me. Yeah, we know. I've known Doug probably longer than most people. My wife graduated with him. I wasn't very good friends with him at the time. You know, he was a little bit younger than me. But I've known him probably since 1967. He was a friend of the town. And there really wasn't any time that I didn't call on him that he didn't respond. He was a true gentleman, and I miss him terribly. Sorry if I'm emotional about it, but he was a very good friend. He was a friend of the town. I would call on him, and he was always right there. Whether it was a water main break, I'd call him, and I'd say, Doug, we got a water main break. You know, you want me to pick you up? He'd say, yeah, or I'll come up later and check on it. When we needed anything done, he was right there. He used his own equipment, and I really do miss him. And I'm sorry if I'm emotional about it, but he was really a good friend. A friend of the town, and he's going to be deeply missed. That's all I have to say about it.
Doug was my neighbor as well, and he had the Blue Barn. Everybody knows the Blue Barn. Everybody in Princetown knows the Blue Barn. He used to keep the fire going, be 80 degrees all winter long. It was Doug, Kitty, and Ducky, and Chicken. And they were all inside the barn, and we used to go, and people came from all over. He had chairs, and everybody came from all over. And we'd sit there by the fire, and the chicken would go around the place, eating little things off the floor, and everybody talked about everything. Doug's place was like the center, literally the heart and soul of Princetown. And Doug knew everybody. It just was a great, great place. When I got cancer, I was very sick. I had to go to Boston. When I came home, I could barely lift my head up. And I needed a few things done on my tractor, which I couldn't even begin to do it. And he came over and did whatever needed to be done immediately. And he called my wife regularly to see if we needed anything. And I mean, that's the kind of guy Doug was. That's why we all miss him terribly. He's irreplaceable, and that's, you know, that's all I can say.
Well, out of respect for Doug, we're going to not fill his seat until the organizational meeting. We've already discussed it a little bit amongst ourselves, and I think that's when we'll do it. Are we all agreed on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, moving on. Department committee reports. Highway, do you have anything?
I talked to Rob, nothing happened this month.
Let's see, water. And we did have a water main break week and a half ago on Route 20. They were there for 2 days. Lost a lot of water again. But it was repaired. Larned came up. They worked on it for 1 day, and then they had to come back the next day because it got dark and they couldn't work on it. But it was repaired. Let's see, October 2024, gallons pumped 1,951,400. Maximum daily use is 95,000. Minimum daily use is 30,000. Daily average 62,900. We had the following water main breaks. 10/11/24 had chlorine injection line break, was repaired that day. A special thanks to myself, I guess, for his help on this repair. All hydrant flushing is completed and documented condition. Lead and copper result letters were distributed. Workshop class was attended for water license. Problem with CL17 chlorinator on Settles Hill Road, tank cleaning, maintenance, and recalibration is scheduled. General maintenance performed. Respectfully committed, Rick Rohr. Any questions? And Ben? Jim? No. Okay. Building inspector's report here. Total permits 5, permits issued 5. Permit inspection fees collected $465, building inspections 11, zoning 2, fire inspection 0, final building inspections 2, certificate of occupancy compliance 2, bank deposit report $465, check to supervisor 0, checkbook balance as of November 19th, 2024, $486.19. Working on planning and zoning is needed, working on permit final inspection is needed, reviewing plans is needed, time of reviewing building inspection. Are there any questions? Jim?
No.
Let's see, dog control officer, he's not here, so we can't get a report.
No,
So-
he said
Okay,
there was
hope he
nothing.
gets better. Buildings and grounds, we're working on, well, we got a problem over the state police again over there, something with their toilet is not working. Randy's going over to repair it, and we're working on putting an electric sign up on the front, and we've been getting estimates on it. I think we need it out there. It'll be a sign that'll be operated from inside the building, and it'll state when the town board meetings are, court. You've seen them all out there around the firehouses that they have them. I think we need it. Jim's been working on that, getting estimates, and we're getting the electrician over here. He's involved in it to see what we have to do to run a line out there. It's a 30 amp line, and we only have a 20 amp line going out to it, so we're gonna have to increase it. Then you do get a drop in voltage when you're coming that much of a distance into the town hall, so we're gonna have to do that. Jim, did you wanna elaborate on that a little more?
Well, actually, I'm working with a specific company right now. They're this company has the contract for the only sign company that is sanctioned by the state of New York to go on the state, so you don't actually have to bid. The state will actually approve it automatically because of the nature of the company. It's a much higher rated company. We're working with that right now. We're hoping to get all the specifics done. We'll know after we get a price for the electric, what the total cost's gonna be. But the reality is, right there, when you come into this place at night, like tonight, it's dark, you can hardly even see the driveway. I've been coming here for years, and I go by it. I gotta go to Dunkin' Donuts and turn around and come. So we're gonna probably get rid of that tree. We're certainly gonna get rid of the sign that's out there. The one that we're gonna put up is a very, very high quality sign. It's gonna be, all our department heads will be able to put their messages on periodically, so that if they have something important that needs to be said, they can say it and the whole town will know as they drive by. So, yeah, we're really excited about it. We were hoping very much that we'd be able to do it before the snow flies, but unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. So probably the early part of the spring, we'll get this thing squared away.
I think that would be a good benefit to the town. At least, you could put, signs up, Merry Christmas or Happy New Year, whatever, Happy Thanksgiving. Anything like that, or if the fire departments wanted to advertise on it or whatever. I think you've all seen them. They're out at the fire departments. They have them. And I think it's a good thing that we have it. I think it'd be an asset to the town. I don't know, what do you think, Nick?
Yeah. We went to 3 years ago where it was cost prohibitive.
Well, they're not cheap. They're not cheap now either, but the quality is tremendous.
Yeah.
This particular, all of this equipment is made right here in the United States, and the founder of the company is also the CEO. Everything about this company I like, and the sign company itself is local. They're Boston Spa. They're the ones that coordinate everything, so we've got a local contact. So we're leaning toward using this one particular company. We don't have to bid because of the fact that the state allows them to only put this one product in because the product is such high quality. So again, we wanted to do it before the snow flies, but it's just getting too late in the year, so hopefully early in the spring we'll have it up and running.
Okay. Ben, you got any
Same
questions?
thing, I'll have to see the cost. There's a big difference between 10,000 and 40,000.
You can't get it for $10.
Yeah.
Honestly, back when we were looking at it was 25,000. We're going back, 15 years ago? Maybe longer.
With inflation rate being at 9.5% this past year, so everything is going up.
I've done a lot of research on it, and some of the companies that are out-of-state companies, and one is in Florida, there's others all over, and some of the reviews have been horrible, absolutely horrible. They come in, they put these signs up, within 6 months they're not working. There's a warranty, but the warranty is so complicated. So that's one of the reasons I'm tending to lean toward this company, but we'll know more. Like I said, we've got the winter to figure it out.
Okay. Any other questions on it?
No.
Okay, moving on then. All right, public hearings, we got the 2025 preliminary budget.
I have a quick report.
Pardon?
I have a quick report from my office. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We didn't have
I'm sorry.
anything for the court or the assessor, but
I'm sorry.
that's okay. I'm getting ready for the 2025 tax season, and I have an exciting announcement. I'm working on upgrading my iTax system software, which will allow us to have our town property tax bills viewable and printable online. So a lot of people, especially around tax time, when people are filing their tax returns, they don't save the receipt. All other municipalities have this available, so you can just go on, print out your paid tax receipt without having to call the office and get it. So that is going to be part of our new tax software and will be available for the 2025 season. There's a 5-year look back, so you can go on and get all of your personal tax information.
Can we pay online as well?
We're working on that.
Okay.
I just got the online thing going. I'm working on it. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I skipped over the, any questions for Crystal? No?
That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. Let's see. We don't have anything from the court, do we? Crystal?
Nope, nothing from the court, nothing from the assessor tonight.
Okay. Preliminary budget, public hearing is opened at 7, what is that, 21?
Yeah.
Okay, floor is open, anybody would like to comment? Anything from the town board?
Only thing I have is, once again, we had no town tax. God only knows how long we're gonna be able to maintain that, hopefully for a long time, but you never know. Right now, no town tax.
I might add over here that we did get that solar company is online on Kelly Station Road now. And Crystal, what was the check we received?
Yeah, we got $9,375 for the Princetown Solar, the one on Kelly Station.
And we got 30 from the other one, right?
Right, and that one is in our revenue line. We just got that check on Monday, so we didn't know that amount, but that will be part of our 2025 revenue as well.
So that'll help us with the no town tax for a little while anyway.
Yeah. Okay, there's no other questions from the floor. We'll close the public hearing up at 7:24. All right, meeting minutes. Is hereby resolved that the meeting minutes of October 8th regular town board meeting are approved or as amended. Discussion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Crystal?
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Approval of the 2025 Town of Princetown budget. Let's see, whereas the 2025 preliminary budget of the Town of Princetown was filed with the town clerk on October 8th, 2024, whereas the town board of the Town of Princetown duly held a public hearing on the 2025 preliminary budget, including the general fund, water fund, highway fund, Clark Hill, Pattersonville, Pine Grove, and Duanesburg Fire District, along with 2025 water and sewer assessment rolls approved by the town board and filed with the town clerk, and heard all persons desiring to be heard on the matter. Whereas the town board adopted the 2025 preliminary budget at the town board meeting on October 8th, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that the 2025 preliminary budget as presented is hereby adopted and established as 2025 final adopted budget for the town of Princetown for the fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2025.
That's our air system.
Yeah, it's been doing that, and Crystal was telling me that.
I
the
thought
other
they
day.
repaired that.
Crystal said it's been happening.
When it goes on,
Maybe somebody's.
when it goes on, things like that.
It doesn't seem connected to when it turns on.
Yeah, he was here and he couldn't find
He
it.
was
It
here.
didn't do it when he was here.
Didn't do it. He'd go out to his truck and didn't do it.
Oh,
He
God.
thought I would make a big deal.
It is further resolved that the 2025 final adopted budget shall be spread upon the minutes of this town board meeting in its entirety, and the town clerk shall prepare and certify as provided by law duplicate copies of the said 2025 final adopted budget, hereby adopted and delivered one of such copies to the supervisor of the town and one copy to the county legislator of the county of Schenectady as required by law. Discussion?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Crystal?
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Election expenses. It is hereby resolved that the town board directs the Schenectady County Finance Department to levy Princetown's share of the 2022 county elections expense on the 2025 county tax warrant. I think it's gonna be quite expensive this year, isn't it, Crystal?
It did go up quite a bit. It's 42, I think. You guys have the resolution from the legislature in your packet. It's
Since
usually
we have these
36.
primaries,
Sorry, it went from 31 to 40.
31 what?
31,000 to 40,000.
40,000 is fine.
I also don't understand why we're so far behind on this, why we re-levy 2022 to 2025. And it's always been like that since I started, but I'm not sure why they're so far behind in that.
I know that we had those primaries, how many primaries did we have this year?
2.
Yeah. And I notice now we have more people in at the elections, poll watchers than what we used to have. It's gotta be adding up. Okay,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
Crystal?
Councilman Goldie?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Negative declaration for the adoption of the local law number 1 of 2024 to amend local law number 2 of 2018 known as the Solar Energy Facilities Law.
There's a lot here, I don't know if I would read all of it. It goes all the way through the next one.
Yeah, there's a whole nother page of small print.
Everybody has it in the agenda. If you grab a copy.
Wow.
I don't even want, I wouldn't even want to ask you to read that, Crystal.
Well, this is standard procedure, right, anytime you pass a
You
local
need your
law.
justifications, right?
Yeah, so I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Crystal?
Councilman Goldie?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Adoption of local law number 1 of 2024 to amend local law number 2 known as the Solar Energy Facilities Law. That one's not too long, if you wanted to read it, Crystal.
Sure. Whereas at the regular town board meeting held on August 13th, 2024, the town board of the town of Princetown called for a public hearing to take place at the September 10th, 2024 town board meeting for the purpose of considering public comment on a proposed amendment to the Solar Energy Facilities Law. And whereas the public hearing occurred at the town board meeting on September 10th, 2024, and was continued at the October 8th, 2024 town board meeting, and whereas a referral was made to the Schenectady County Planning and Economic Development Department pursuant to General Municipal Law 239-M, and whereas on September 10th, 2024, a referral was made to the Town of Princetown Planning Board for report and recommendation, be it resolved that local law number 1 of the year 2024 is enacted, and the town board of the Town of Princetown hereby adopts local law number 1 of 2024 to amend local law number 2 of 2018, known as the Solar Energy Facilities Law, as attached hereto. This local law shall take effect upon filing with the Secretary of State as required by Section 27 of the Municipal Home Rule Law.
Discussion?
What are we doing? We're adopting the law.
Yeah, so we worked for several months to try to strengthen our solar law. But one of the things I want to stress is this does not stop solar in Princetown. Anything under 25, they have to follow our law, and anything over 25 megawatts, they go through the state. So this doesn't stop it. You know, if the goal was to prevent solar in Princetown, this isn't going to do it. I think it strengthens our law a little bit and provides some more oversight and a little bit less of a visual impact, but that's all it does. You know, in light of what happened in the last election, if you want to stop Princetown solar coming to Princetown, you're going to have to reach out to the state. They overstep home rule law with anything that's over 25 megawatts. It's out of our jurisdiction. So, you know, this was really the best we could do at this time, and I think it's going to be pretty good. But I do want to stress, this doesn't get rid of solar. It just strengthens the law a little bit, in my opinion.
Here's the problem with the solar. They have what's called a public utilities use variance in the state. They can override us anytime they want, if they think it's for the good of the public. And that's what it's called, the public utilities use variance. And it's just like what they did up on, was it Rennox Corners Road? Where they put that building up for the power lines coming through.
Reynolds Road.
Rennick's Road.
Where?
Yes, and they never even came to the town, they just said they're putting it up. They did come, and we had a short meeting with them. I think the planning board chair was there, and Doug Cole and myself, and they just, you know, we're just gonna do it. And, you know, we really didn't have much to say about it, so, they did want to ask us, you know, what kind of, you know, we want to put a driveway in and, you know, some shrubs around it, but as far as going through the planning board or the town board, they just came in and did it. And that's what they call it, a public utilities use variance. So we really can't stop these kind of things. Like I said, if, you know, start talking to your governor's office and your assembly and senators in the state if you want to try to do anything about it, but our hands are actually tied with it.
I have a coworker where I work up in Galway, and they stopped solar, but the community had to come together and they hired a lawyer to fight the solar company to stop it from coming in. That's what it took. And we just don't have the resources as a municipality to do that. But the community stepped up. They didn't want it in their backyard, and that's what they did. They fought it, and they managed to keep that particular project away. So we can do as much as we can do here as a municipality, but to prevent it completely, you've got to reach out, like Lou said, to your state legislators, and you got to be prepared to fight it on a more personal level.
The one good thing we did, which was, I think, actually brilliant, we had our attorneys, our solar attorney help us develop a law where you have to have 100 acres. And by doing that, it prevents these little solar farms dotting all over the little town of Princetown, so it looks like carnival. We didn't want that. We understand that if you got 100 acres, 200 acres, we're not gonna try and stop that because we don't wanna be sued, we don't want litigation. I, for one, would not approve one dime for litigation if we get sued for that, because we just don't have the resources. We don't even have a town tax, so we did that. It's worked well so far. You don't see little solar farms dotted all over the town of Princetown. We took the advice of our attorney, she wrote it up, and so far it's worked, so.
Okay, you got anything, Nick?
No, let's pass it.
Okay, all right.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Chris,
Councilman Gouldy?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
yes, resolution passes. General funds claim. Hereby resolved, the town board approves claim number 193 through 216, in the amount of $20,034.27. Discussion.
Make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Grissom?
Councilman Gouldy?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Water funds claim. It is hereby resolved that the town board approves claim number 99 through 115 in the amount of $21,114.97. Discussion. Is there a motion?
Sorry.
I'll make it.
Crystal?
I'll second.
I was saying, you know, Councilman Gouldy?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Highway funds claim. It is hereby resolved the town board approves claim number 7 in the amount of $139,606. Discussion.
That's all the blacktop, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Crystal?
Councilman Gouldy?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. This was for the
Transfer.
paving of Vernon Drive and Willow Run, finishing up Willow Run. Next year, we're gonna have to work on Reuter Drive. They did repair the basins there. County came up and helped us out with that. I don't know if we got a bill, we didn't get a bill from them, did we? Crystal?
No.
Hopefully they won't, but they probably will. But we were gonna do Reuter Drive, but the catch basins they had holes in them, and we just couldn't get to it this year. We didn't really have the money for it this year anyway. General fund transfer. It is hereby resolved, the town board approves a transfer from the general fund to the highway fund in the amount of $139,606 to cover claim number 7 of 2024.
Make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Crystal?
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Jacuso?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Also, we haven't heard back from them yet, but we did get that CHIPS and the Pave New York applications in for those projects for this year.
Oh, you
So
did get that?
We should get
Yeah.
some.
Is that the one I signed?
Ralph signed it.
Oh, that's right, Ralph had to sign it. How much, we don't know.
We
We're
gotta
gonna-
see if it should qualify.
Yeah, it's gonna be minor, I think, though. Usually not a
We had a
lot.
good
It's actually
balance though,
chip
because
funding.
we haven't put in for CHIPS funding in quite some time, so we had a balance.
Well, we didn't pave any roads last year.
But
That's
yeah.
why.
Been a while.
Yeah. So, privilege of the floor. At every scheduled town board meeting, the public shall have the right to address the town board during a portion of the meeting referred to as privilege of the floor. Members of the public should restrict their comments to items of town business. Although there is no official time constraint, speakers should be considerate of others so that all interested members of the public have an opportunity to be heard. There shall be one portion of the meeting dedicated to privilege of the floor near the beginning of each meeting. All remarks and questions shall be addressed to the board. No person shall enter into discussion with the person having the floor. Council members may address any comments during the course of the meeting referred to as council member comments. Privilege of the floor opened up at
38.
38.
Hi, everybody. Nancy Byral from Peaceful Acres on Rhine Experience Road. I just want to say thank you to everybody for working so hard and pulling this together to amend the solar law. And that's all. Now we have to get to the governor's office and hope federal and state funding gets pulled on these things. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Apparently the noise is water hammer from the toilet, because that's twice now. All right, Jennifer Blessing, Gifford Church Road. I just would like to make the board aware that there is a continuing issue with the fire warden services in the town. This is not a no-show job, as evidenced by the fact that you have $1,000 in the budget for this position. We currently have a state burning ban in place, and calls have been made to the fire warden, Mike Campione, and he is not responding. People have been calling my husband as the former fire warden, asking if he can do anything. And this has happened several times over the last 2 weeks. And my husband has tried reaching out to him also, and he either picks up and hangs up or doesn't answer at all. So I don't know what the issue is, but we need a fire warden that actually is going to show up and respond to concerns. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any others? Paul?
Paul Hasbrook, Gifford Road, for Crystal. You mentioned putting tax bills on emails.
No, online.
No, no.
If they're already paid, you still have to mail them.
Oh, that was my question.
It's available, so if you wanted to look up your bill, so usually when people file their personal taxes, they want their receipt and they didn't save it, so they always call me for a copy. This
Okay.
time, you'll be able to go right in, you type in, I believe you have to actually enter your tax map, not your last name, but I haven't seen the system just yet. You'd be able to go on your personal computer and print out your tax bill yourself without having to call me and ask me for it.
Okay, I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
That's okay.
that Everybody is going to paperless invoices and all this type of thing, and there's a lot of people in town that would not
Yeah, but
would not work.
I don't think it's legal for taxes.
I was gonna say, I don't believe we can eliminate
We-
paper tax bills.
And we do all that here in-house in the town of Princeton. We don't use it outside.
Right.
I print, fold, and envelope
Yeah.
every year.
And the fold-
Sent
Yeah.
with love
Yeah.
from my office.
We're very much aware of that. It's a
So, yes,
very
that will continue.
difficult-
Thank you.
Very difficult, timely, tough job, so I misunderstood that.
That's okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any others? Okay, we'll close up the privilege of the floor. What time we got?
42.
8:42.
7:42.
7:42. Okay. All right, council member comments and discussions. We've got, our water commission has decided that he's going to retire. Please take this letter as a formal notice that I will be resigning from my position as water commissioner for Princetown Water Department effective 5/31/24. Thank you for the opportunity. 5/31.
Yeah, she said
25.
25.
What do you write?
Oh, he wrote 24.
No.
25.
You want to stop that?
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity to serve the town of Princetown. He did say he would stay on to help somebody along. The problem is, we have to have 2 people with a license. We've been told over and over again, in case something happens to him, that there's somebody to take his place. We've discussed this with him. All of the things that are required, all of the training that's required. It's going to be very costly to try to find somebody or 2 people. We've been skirting this for a good number of years, and they're coming down on us now. They say that you have to have this. I think that it's going to be very costly. You're going to have to pay these people not what we're paying Rick. He's not paid very much at all. And we've been very fortunate that he's here with us, but he did notify us. We had a discussion with him of all of the things that have to be done. You do need 2 people, and it's going to be very, very costly to the town, to the people that are using the water system, and the people that are on it. You're talking salaries now. The one we have as a part-timer has been offered salaries that I can't even mention over here with benefits and pension, and to pay two people, and to try to find somebody that wants, people that want to be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. He gave us a list of the things that have to be done on a continuing basis, and it's going to be hard to find people to do this. I don't know if anybody wants to elaborate on it. You heard what he had to say. Jim, you want to?
No, just that we're going to be paying more money for more people. It's going to be very difficult on the small budget we have for this water district. We've got less than 350 people on the water district, and the money that it generates is going to have to pay all those expenses, plus the maintenance expenses, plus the repairs. So it's not going to be easy at all. We've approached the state, we've approached the feds, we've applied for grants. We can't seem to get any. We'll continue to try that route, but so far it's been unsuccessful.
Every year we apply for grants, and every year we're turned down because the median income in the town is too high, they're told, and the water system is too new. It's a continuing problem. With the water main breaks just keep happening. And with just what you said, with the amount of money we're taking in, and now have to have 2 people that have a license. And I just don't know where we're gonna find the people, and I don't know how we're gonna find, where we're gonna be able to pay them the amount of money that they wanna get paid now. And you're talking upwards of $90,000 to $100,000 a year with benefits, from what we understand. And
That's for one.
that's just for one.
It always was 2 people. You always had to have 2 people with a license. That's
Yeah,
not
we know
new.
that.
Yeah, we know, we haven't been doing it. they're kind of getting on our back.
Yeah, but 90,000 would be a full-time job, it's not a full-time
Yeah, we do have two operators, but they're not full-time. I mean, we have,
You gotta have full-time operators. He goes into these pits, below ground, you gotta have two people there when he does that. He goes in by himself. I mean, there's so many things that we're doing that we're not following, the rules, that, I mean, we could be in a lot of trouble if something happens over here. I mean, the reality of this is, it's gonna cost more money, and the people that are on the water systems are gonna have to pay more money. And, you know, everybody thinks you just go pump water out of the ground, and that's it. That's not the way it works. Like I said over here, you know, it's a problem, and we're gonna have to deal with it. And it's a continuing problem. I don't know. We're just gonna have to look for people, and if we run out of money, and we probably will, the residents are gonna have, everybody thinks water is free. It's not free, you know, it's not. So, I just want everybody to be aware of it. I don't wanna be the, you know, the bearer of bad news, but that's the reality of it. So, any comments from you, Ben? Jim?
no, just that it's very difficult to find anybody. I foiled the state of New York for a database of licensed operators. I have that data home. I will try to reach out to some of these operators, best I can do, and ask them to respond if they would like to work for the town of Princetown, but that's the best we can do. A lot of them don't want to be bothered, and they certainly don't want to be bothered for what we can pay. That's the problem.
You know, as people say over there, get a retired person. People retire because they want to retire. They don't want to work 24 hours, be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's the problem with it. And plus the fact that nobody in the town gets any benefits, pension or anything like that. You know, I mean, there's no bennies with this, with these positions over here. The reality is, we're gonna have to start paying if you want people here, and you want licensed people. You know, we're fortunate over here that Rick is doing this on the salary he's getting, but he's gonna be 65 years old, and he's gonna be collecting Social Security. I mean, he just can't work. He's limited in the amount of money he can make, so that's why he's gonna retire. He did say he would stay on if we found some people, just to show them around the system, you know, because every system, I guess, is different. I mean, I've been in every part of this, in the pits, and, you know, and you walk into that building on where the pump house is, I mean, I wouldn't have a clue with all of the gauges and all of the chlorine things and the generators and all of the things, and he gave us a list of all of the things that have to be done. It's a lot of work and no money.
And the other thing is that a lot of people don't realize is the water system is its own taxing entity. We cannot commingle funds from the town. So if the town has a surplus of 200,000, we can't commingle that into the water district. That's a separate taxing entity. So basically, the people that get their water from the town have to pay if there's a shortage, period. The town cannot put, because if somebody lives up on the north end, they don't get water. Why should any of their tax money have to go to pay for a water system that they're not getting anything out of?
It doesn't.
So that's reasonable and it's fair.
And that's why we all agreed and voted for a special district down here.
Right.
So that's very clear.
A lot of people don't understand it. They think that we can actually just dig into a surplus from that. We can't. We can't do that.
No, it's gotta be self-sustaining.
I mean, it's a problem, and you're gonna have to pay for the water,
It's
that's
gonna
it.
cost more money for
who wants
a
to keep
lot
the
more
water.
money. And that's the reality of it, so I just wanted everybody to be aware of it. I hate to be the guy, as they say, the Grinch that stole Christmas, or it's just, it is what it is. And,
And having said that, don't get us wrong, we're not projecting right now raising any water rates or anything like that right now.
You should raise it every
You
year.
know, we do raise it a little bit
Every
every year, it's built in, but we're not, we're not making.
You want to speak for a second? You guys have kicked the can down the road for 15 years.
Well, we
That's not entirely true. We met with, what was his name, Clark?
Yes.
And we set up a 5-year plan on how to get the water system self-sufficient. And then we got hit with the inflation and all the repairs. We tried. We talked about the rates that we needed to charge people in
Wasn't
order,
enough.
which is why they went up.
And we had that $50 fee,
When
which
was that?
people went crazy over, we had to rescind that.
5 years ago?
5 years ago.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
everybody
know.
cried like
You went
babies.
10
System is
years,
20
10
years
years
old.
with nothing.
And it wasn't
Then
We had that
Yeah,
$50 fee that we went in there, you think we were taking their first child away. People were calling us, screaming, yelling at people, calling my house. I mean, $50.
Yeah,
But they were going nuts. So we're making an effort, we do raise it a little bit every year. That was part of our plan, right from the beginning.
We got hit where certain items went up 100% over 5 years.
yeah.
And we hadn't accounted for that we were going to have such substantial increases in the cost of the equipment. So that was a big issue on why we fell behind a little
Well,
bit.
the water tower was $250,000.
Yeah.
We didn't have 250 cents.
Yeah.
And the reason we got saved was the county came in and saved
No,
us.
we know.
They came,
We're very
250,000.
well aware of that.
250,000 they came across with, 50,000 one year and 200,000 the following year to help us out.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, we can't keep going to them. The system has to maintain itself.
Correct, so you have to raise the rates.
You gotta
And people
raise-
can get
I
mad, but
agree
you
with
gotta raise
everyone.
the rates.
You got,
Doug Gray, in fact, sat here and at the time said it should cost $1 a day. And it should be $365 a year. And you guys didn't do it. You raised it to 2 something. So we know, Lou, it's a problem.
Everybody's crying.
But it can't go away. It doesn't matter. Everything goes up.
Jen wants to say something.
Yeah, I would like to remind the board that my husband saw the handwriting on the wall and made a proposal for increased rates, and y'all decided to back off of it. This last year even, you said, this is not appropriate, we're going to reverse this for one grouping in particular, and I don't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I remember sitting here and you all saying, oh, that's not right, because people complained.
They can complain all they want.
That's not true. You can't charge people for a service they're not receiving. That was the problem why we had to give back the $50.
It
Check
was
on
in
that.
his
You can't charge-
proposal that you all accepted,
If you're not receiving a service, if you're not getting the water, you can't charge them for a service they're not receiving.
If the water
That's the
runs
problem.
past their house, they're getting fire protection from that.
Right, so we couldn't charge that usage fee though, which is what I think it was kind of structured as. We couldn't
Okay.
charge non-users an extra $50.
There is a.
We did, we approved it, but then we backtracked, I think, was it the Association
But
of Towns?
non-users are still getting it, okay. Then you gotta find another way to find it.
No, there's a non-hookup fee. Because I got 2 properties that aren't on it. I got 3 that are. And I'm getting charged on the taxes every year for.
It's for fire
Yeah.
protection and for
Yeah.
the infrastructure. That's exactly what it
It's
is.
like $100 a year or
Correct.
something. It should be more. It should be $300 a year.
Correct.
Yeah,
It's
so
gonna
those-
have to go up to cover this.
Those are
Correct.
things we gotta talk about. But I think we incorporated everything else besides that is the one that we reversed, but I think everything else of Wes's suggestions we had done.
We raised the rates as we went along. Every year, we've been raising the rates, and every year, we get more and more complaints about it.
Well, you can get
Well,
complaints all you
That's too
want.
bad.
I
But
know,
you still gotta
I
pay
get it,
for it.
I get it.
If you want the
I
water,
get
you're
it.
gonna have to pay for it.
I get it,
Right,
I get it.
correct.
Well, It's gonna be very costly to
Well,
maintain
And
the
excuse me,
system.
going back to, I don't know if you can or can't do this, but I know that it's a big thing that they want shared services. Is there a way to go with Schenectady County or maybe with the town of Rotterdam and contract something to maintain
We talked about
instead of
that.
paying, you know, like you said, maybe $300,000 or $500,000 a year, if that's what it ends up coming, but isn't it cheaper to do shared services? I mean, that's something that was a proposal that was a couple of years ago that they were pushing for, so we could save money like that we could do that.
You talk to the county and the town, right?
Yes, not interested. Why would they want to come in and maintain a system over here that's failing? Well, I just wanted everybody to be aware of it. We're going to discuss this here, and we're going to have to move on fairly quickly too, because Rick put in his notice, so.
Well, maybe it's time to form a committee and put a bunch of people together and have them start looking at different options and have a water district committee
You just did it with a solar law, why not do it with the water district?
to explore other
Instead of dumping it all
options.
on Jim.
All right, you got anything else?
Yeah, so at the last meeting, we talked about reaching out to the Association of Towns and the City of Johnstown about solar. So if you go to the last page of this packet that Johnstown sent me,
I saw that. All they did was do a moratorium.
no, go to the very last page. The moratorium was passed months ago, in fact, years ago.
Please take notice.
So it's the very last page, at the front of the last page, where it says proposed zoning amendments, June 17. Yeah,
Only the board got this, the public did not get copies.
okay. You see where it says
Make
section
it a minute.
22508?
I see cannabis dispensary.
Yeah, underneath.
You should have one of those, that'll pay for our
We
water.
voted, well,
We're gonna need one.
I voted to allow, nobody else did.
At this rate, we're gonna need one.
You cover the water district.
Do you see?
By
where's-
the way, the construction of solar farms.
And
Yeah, so, to the best of my knowledge, and,
Land uses.
yeah, and I can ask her to clarify this, but,
That's kind of vague.
right, so I can ask her to clarify, but under that, it's a prohibited land use, so they prohibited the construction of solar farms.
Within the corporate city, yeah.
I don't know what corporate city limits is. Is that just a business district? Is that the entire municipality?
It's
I
gotta
don't
be
know.
the city of Johnstown, just the city.
But what, I don't know what
Yeah,
corporate
but what the
is.
hell, like, where
look
they
at
gonna
their
put it?
zoning, it's gotta be part of their
Yeah,
zoning.
yeah,
It's gotta be
I'm
like
not-
our, industrial
Within the
zone.
corporate city.
Yeah, so I don't think it's citywide. You know, like we have, like Albany has corporate areas.
Yeah.
So they prohibited solar within the
Probably
corporate,
where you couldn't put them.
yeah,
Probably buildings there.
probably. But anyway, I did look it up. We talked about reaching out, so I did, and that's where they prohibited solar farms is with.
Well, they
within
didn't
the corporate
really
city.
prohibit solar farms.
No, I don't think it's banned
No.
citywide. I can ask, I can reach out and ask to clarify that, but, you know, we talked about that, so I
You know,
did.
it's kind of, yeah, it's just, yeah.
And maybe it is the entire city, I don't know.
Well, yeah, but what are you gonna put it in the city? You know,
Well, it's Johnstown, it's not all city, even though it's a city, you know?
wow.
There's some rural areas there too, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So I know Jen already brought this up, but I got a call about Mike Campione. Somebody was burning on Darrow Road, construction material, which I know you're not supposed to do. Plus, we do have the burn ban in place, so you're not supposed to be burning really at all.
Right.
You know, I got all those wildfires downstate. But I guess, you know, he's not picking up his phone supposedly, and he's not responding.
Is he sick?
Yeah,
Not the calls west got though. His, I think, were from the north end, Kelly Station and up. I don't think his were Darrow Road.
for Mike.
For west.
The ones that called west.
What's it called, west from the north end?
Some of his
No, he-
frequent flyers from up there.
He told me it was Darrow Road.
Oh, west of?
Yeah,
Okay,
so.
my mistake.
West that called, and so I don't know, you know, if he's not answering his phone or not.
Well, you said he hung the phone up?
Well, at least one time he answered and then it was hung up. I was sitting right there when it
Is
happened.
he sick?
I don't know, but it is a 24/7 job, you know, you gotta respond if somebody calls
Yeah.
about a fire, and
Right.
it sucks, because it only pays $1,000 to be on call 24/7. That's tough, but, you know, if he's not answering, it would have to be done. People can't be burning right now, people burn down town,
Right.
everything's just too dry.
Well, maybe you should, if he doesn't want to do the job, then he's going to have to resign.
Yeah,
So we'll talk to him, we'll have to talk to him.
yeah, I'm not throwing him under the bus, I don't, you know, I'm just, no, I'm just passing information along. Listen, all I'm saying is I got a call that he's not responding, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but it should be looked into because,
We don't have a lot of feedback with him on a regular basis, but we'll make an effort to get a hold of him.
Ben, can I ask a question?
yeah.
Are the residents calling him, or are the fire departments calling him?
So the way I understand it is the residents are calling him.
Why aren't they calling the fire department to come when there's an open burn? They shouldn't be calling him, they should be
He's
calling
our
the
fire
fire
warden.
departments.
Right, he's our fire warden.
Yeah, but the fire department should be calling the fire warden. If there's something burning, the fire department should be called.
Okay.
Well, residents can call the warden too.
Well, yeah,
It's
but
not-
if you got something burning, you shouldn't be calling the fire warden. Well, you could, but you should be calling the fire department first. It's like you're having a heart attack.
Yeah,
You know, you're not gonna call the
So-
doctor, you're calling the ambulance.
so maybe they are calling Wes calling, is calling
Yeah.
him and he's not
You
responding.
typically call the fire warden when you want a permit to burn something
Yeah.
or have a question about it. You don't,
Yeah, to get
when
a
the fire is, when the fire is already fully involved.
Well, the fire warden also does the cease and desist orders. And
So
yes,
did
you
the
would normally call in
did
the
the
fire department to put it
respond
out.
to that Darrow Road and put the fire out?
Not that I know of. I mean, he was getting complaints that from the townspeople that they were not getting a response from Mike. I don't even know if they were reaching out to him when it was actively happening.
Right, but I was on the fire department for 25 years. We got a call like that, they could call the police, they could call anybody in the government. We went there and put the fire out.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't allow fires to be burned in the city of Schenectady.
So if neighbors are burning, call the fire department.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm just passing the information along. I don't,
Well, somebody, did they call you directly?
yeah, Wes did.
Well, they should be calling the fire department, I guess. I don't know how we get that notice out.
Well, then what's the town board meeting? You just said it.
Well, it sounds like maybe they're calling Wes, Wes is calling him, and he's not picking up. Does that sound fair?
Well, he was trying to reach out just to see if he could get a hold of him, to say that these people are trying to reach out to him, to tell him there's a problem that continually happens up there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is a regular thing he's doing up there. Okay.
And this is, where's this happening?
According to what he told Ben, Darrow Road.
Yeah, but maybe I know there's something that happened on the north end for a while. Wasn't there somebody up by you that was burning
We
construction
had
stuff?
one guy who was, he is running a construction business, and he was bringing in construction demolition from Schenectady and Albany and taking it out in the back of his farm, and he dug a big pit, and he's burying stuff there, and he was burning it. On a Sunday afternoon, we saw a big black cloud of smoke, and I went down to see what was going on, because from our vantage point, it could have been across the river for all I know. And I come around the corner, and there's this thing, so we notified the fire department, they came in, DEC came in, Mike came down, we found out that he had had 5 previous cease and desist orders, but he was still going at it. He has you can go on Google Earth and you can see it on the maps. He improved a nice gravel road back to this area where he was doing all this. I don't know if he still is. It's in DEC's hand, the last I know, and we don't get any more information other than that.
What road was this on, you said?
Route 160. It's in the town of Princetown, just above the solar field. Been going on for years, the neighbors complained, and he just got complacent, I think, and lit this thing off, and
And he's still doing it then?
I don't know if he's still doing it or not. Well, I haven't seen any burning down there, and like I said, they were not gonna fine him. They said they were going to go through litigation, which would make him clean it up as opposed to fines. I don't know what happened. We haven't heard anything. We had another instance in the spring where a permit was issued for a barn that was taken down. The individual came in who was contracted to do this, got a permit, told Mike he was gonna get a pump and all this, and he did, and there was a creek right there. He pumped water on it, whatever. He went home at 3 o'clock or whatever, and the thing was still burning, and then every attempt we made to get a hold of him, the guy who was the contractor ignored him, basically told Mike that, to mind his own business. That night, it smoldered all night, and it filled the valley with smoke, and the neighbor couldn't come out of his house. His wife has health issues, and so she was having problems. The next day, we found out about it later in the afternoon, that she had the health problems, and we had DEC up there, and we went through the whole bit to, and Mike was there for that. And I don't know what happened to that.
Did
Huh?
DEC say anything?
Oh, yeah, they fined, all kinds of fines, because there was all kinds of asphalt and stuff in there that was supposed to have been cleaned out that wasn't. So, we've had our share out there. But,
Tires of blacktop, not good. Was it tires of blacktop, not good?
yeah.
Yeah, so
You
maybe
gotta
not-
call the
I
fire
don't know, I just wanted to pass the information along, so.
Okay. All right. Is that it? You have anything else? Jim?
No.
Nick? No. I don't have anything else.
Verizon had to send an engineer out for our phone, so we've not had that upgrade happen yet.
They sent the engineer.
No, they have not. It has to, yeah. So I know
Well,
you guys
they
voted to do
can't
that last.
They gotta run another line or something.
They didn't like the way that Spectrum ran the line. The Spectrums that we have right now, they didn't want to use that same connection. They didn't feel it was done properly, so Verizon has to send an engineer to come out.
Yeah, they told me that.
Yeah. But they did not give any kind of date or time frame, so we're waiting.
Okay. Nothing else going on? All right, and I don't think we need an executive session. We already discussed what's going on with Rick and what we're gonna plan on doing, so. Is there a,
I'll make the motion,
to adjourn?
we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Foley?
Yes.
Councilman Jacobson?
Yes.
Councilman Mora?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes, resolution passes. Thank you all for coming.